Peace and Earth Wellness, peace and Earth Wellness. This your boy IB coming back at you one more time. I want to talk about fasting today a little bit, and we're gonna go over an hour by hour basis of what happens when you fast. And I've seen some of my friends that talk about fasting a little bit, and they talk about they go, I guess, 16 and 8 or something like that, or 18 and 6, to where they really only fast in 18 hours, and that's good. Absolutely, that's good. But the real work is a little further down the line. Eating one meal a day, they say if you can able to do that, you should be able to stay rather healthy and don't have any problems. But going into 24 to 48 hours to 72 hours, all the way up into 7 days, is where you can really start to see some serious effects on your health by fasting. So you see a lot of other health gurus get up here and they talk about it, but they don't look like us. One of our biggest problems is, I think, too, we have an infatuation with food. I'm currently on a fast now, and you mentally, smell and start to just want to eat things, or just want to, indulge in eating. May not be hungry. I'm I'm on a water fast, so I'm taking an adequate amount of water, so I'm not hungry. My stomach's not growling or nothing like that, but you just smell something and you want to eat it. So that's one of the biggest things. I think that's the problem with fasting. Is that is very mental. It's very mental. I hope a couple of you guys start catching me in the morning when I trade. I came on today. I got off a little early, but I ended up, pulling the regular 1,000 down, and getting people onto that too, because when you're fasting, you really need something to do. You need to be able to get all your work done. You need to be able to focus on some stuff and concentrate on anything other than eating. So let's jump into it. Your first 0 to 12 hours. 0 to 12, your food is still digesting. So you haven't really your insulin levels are still high, and we'll get into this insulin too, because in my opinion, insulin is the cause to all diseases. And as I think about it more, seems like I'm gonna get into rambling here a little bit. None of the food that we eat really breaks us down and really gets us sick. What it is the insulin resistance that we end up acquiring because we eat those foods and at such a high pace, 3-4 times a day, 6 times a day. Anything that goes in your mouth outside of black tea, and there's maybe 1 or 2 other things, your pancreas is getting a signal to produce insulin. Why? Because your body breaks everything that you eat down to a simple sugar, and then that sugar to get inside the body and to get inside those cells must attach with the insulin molecule, or with insulin, period. Insulin is the gatekeeper and the doorkeeper for getting that sugar in your body, and now your body able to use that sugar. Without insulin, now, and I'm only talking about type 1 diabetes too, never type 2, because type 2 is a different type of deficiency. It ain't gonna have too much to do with you eat. You're gonna just really need, to follow those health concerns when you got type 2. But type 1, insulin is really easy to defeat. And because it's going off the insulin, in which where you keep producing to the body through eating food. You understand that? Every time you chew a piece of bubble gum, want a chip, want some peanuts, eat a meal, anything goes in that mouth is going to produce insulin. And there's something called glucagon that I'll bring up a little later, but until your glucagon rises and your insulin goes down, you can't lose weight. You're going to stay inside of the system, I would guess you can say, to where your fat or your body is burning sugar and not fat. So let's go and get into it. The first 12 hours, you're just still digesting your food. Your insulin level's a little high. You're just getting into the fast. All of those 12 hours is hard. What I normally suggest is people try to stop eating around 7 or 8 o'clock and go the rest of the night. You wake up around, let's say, 7, 8 o'clock. You got 12 hours of fasting already in. The first thing you need to do when you're fasting as well is kind of plan to skip breakfast. So you skip breakfast, and that's going to get you from 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 hours of fasting now, and you're at 12, 1 o'clock that day, and you're at about 18 hours of fasting, which is doing good. Between 12 and 18 hours, you start to burn a little fat now. Now your body's shifting into a mechanism to where it says, hey, I'm not burning the energy no more. I'm going to start burning some other stuff. And the body goes into ketosis as well. Ketosis is something where is the shift actually to where now your body is starting to lean against burning ketones, and what happens is your liver kind of activates I forgot what it's called, but it activates glucagon, but it activates this process called glyconeogenesis. And with that, I think the kids are here now. I'm going to have to do this video somewhere else. But with glyconeogenesis, what happened is your liver says, hey, all of the sugar that I have stored, I'm about to burn that off because this guy ain't eating. And then all your muscles also have sugars in them that we store there, and then they start to burn that off. So between 12 and 18 hours now, your liver has sent out the message, hey, look, let's get all the sugar out. We about to transform this energy mechanism to where we're not going to be getting our energy from sugar. We're going to be getting our energy from ketones. And science shows us that ketones run the brain better. Your brain wants ketones. Your body wants to burn ketones. So what's positive about people that are overweight is that they have the weight there. That weight is something magnificent in which where the body is just sitting back waiting to I guess activate it, but you have to do around the 18 to 24 hours to get in this state of to where the body now has really settled into where, hey, we got rid of all the sugars, and now we can focus on using this other stuff, ketones, to run the body. Now between 24 to 48 hours is probably where the magic really starts. That's where the award-winning, I think his name is Dr. Emoto or something like that. He's a Chinese doctor that really figured out what happens between 24 to 48 hours of fasting, and you get this thing called autophagy. AUTOPHGY maybe. And what happens then is, first of all, it happens a lot in your brain. You have so many spent, let's say, thoughts and misconnections and things like that in your brain because of all of the work that it does. So they even say, if you have people starting with Alzheimer's, or you see they starting to get a light-minded a little bit, pull that food back from grandma a little bit and watch she starts to shift back into shape, simply because it's going to stimulate her brain so much that where now she's a little more clear-minded. But what happens on the cellular level is that the body goes in now and says, hey, we, being that no food is coming in, we have to do an overhaul on each and every cell. Everybody is going to be held accountable to get out all the garbage. So if their ribosomes and if the mitochondria is not working out like it used to, and it's smoking, and these on a cellular level are having problems, what that cell does then. And another thing with cancer patients, it's going after all the weak cells, so it's going to kill all the weak cells. It's going to help the cancer patients. It's going to help the patients going into chemotherapy, because it's going to get rid of all those bad cells and leave only the good cells, which sometimes can handle the chemotherapy that you're going to be handling. But they said in the next few years or so, you're going to have to be able to do a 28 to 72-hour fast before you even take chemotherapy. The results are just that good. But anyway, what the cell does is, on a cellular level, it takes all the junk in the cell, everything in the cell that won't working right, that's making you less youthful, any free radicals, anything that the cell is going through. It's gonna sweep all that stuff up, put it in the block, turn it into an amino acid, and throw it in the bloodstream so where you can use that. So now you're running off of old ketones along with old cell byproducts and amino acids, which is going to help stimulate the next part of this fasting. Also, you have, and I'm probably the first one saying this, you have will restoration. After 48 hours or 24 to 36 hours of fasting, you start to get a stronger will. You start to say, hey, I can do this. Hey, I'm going to go further. Hey, I feel like doing this, that, and the third. So it increases your willpower to put you back in control and not the body. Because normally when you eating, you're going off your five senses. And that's the body, and you are being orchestrated by your body. Relax, now. But okay, now, and that's the key level you want to get to, guys. You want to get to 24 to 36 hours. Go ahead and at least get 12 hours of that autophagy rolling on you. That way, your body now has you're already burning fat on a high level. You're now becoming insulin sensitive a little bit, so that means to where when you took a biscuit and it took 23, let's say, grams of insulin to break it down, now you're getting a little bit more sensitive, insulin sensitive, and instead of using 23 insulin grams to break it down, you can break it down in 15. So you don't have to put as much insulin in the blood, which is very, very important. So during this 24 to 48 hours is one of the places you really want to get to, simply because of autophagy. And it starts to clean. They call it used to be where they was really against fasting, and they tried to basically outlaw it. It's absolutely free. You don't need nothing to fast. No gym, no buying food, no guru off the somebody trying to sell you something. Just stop putting stuff in your mouth. It's more mental, but as I said before, after a while you'll be able to get a hold on your body, and whatever you tell your body to do, you're going to be able to do it. But it's going to restore your willpower. Now, at around 48 hours, let's say from 48 to 54 hours, you're going to start to now deal with your pituitary gland. And not too many other ways you deal with your pituitary gland, but what happens here once you get to 48 to 54 hours, what end up happening is you end up developing HGH with human growth hormone. Human growth hormone, basically those hormones and those stem cells inside of your bone marrow now start to wake up. They start to multiply. Human growth hormones they give to people that's about to die and they can, or have serious problems, serious brain problems. They help the stem cell growth, and it helps, just with overall health as far as growing more healthy new cells, not old cells. So with human growth hormone being activated and being spilled over into your blood, now you're really boosting up your immune system to a level to where, they said those people in the Bible that lived to 900, 700 years old, it did that simply because you only ate in one time in every 3 days. And, with that type of ratio, no infection can live in the body. You don't have anything to eat. You don't have no sugar to eat. The only thing, that sickness and illness and health goes off is the sugar in each cell. You're not using sugar no more. Your body's not consumed by sugar. So cancer cell, any type of virus jumping in your cell, don't have nothing to have. It don't have anything to eat. It don't have anything to sustain itself off of. Studies has proved that. So, any type of sickness you have, you start doing a 72-hour fast, 7-day fast, if you can get to that far, you're going to totally eliminate that disease just through it. It has nothing to cling on no more. It can't cling on to this host. This host is can't be cleaned into, can't be, used for those parasites unless you have sugar or glucose in your body. And your body must break everything down to glucose first. So you have to make sure it's just one simple thing. Only water gets into your body. So when your stem cells start to multiply, that's when you're really going to like superb health. You're right there at 72-hour fast. The insulin sensitivity is going down, so it's not going to take as much insulin to break down whatever glucose that your body has given it to you, and you don't have what is called insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is when your body, and that's type 2 diabetes pretty much, is when your body says, hey, I can't take no more insulin. You're eating too much and it's just going to blow you up, give you overweight, and then that's where the heart disease basically starts first. Kidneys and, it'll go throughout all your organs with breaking it down simply because too much insulin, not the food, because that food has been broken down to a sugar and your body can accept sugar. But your body can't take a maximum amount or too much insulin. So what ended up happening is when that insulin, that cell says, hey, I'm not letting you in insulin. I got enough insulin in here. We done ate 4 times a day already. Now the insulin and the sugar is in the bloodstream, and that's where you get diabetes, sugar diabetes. Because the sugar can't get out or get into the cell, and it stays into the bloodstream. So just a quickie on that real fast from a face that you may look like yours. That's kind of the steps of what you'll be trying to make. And if you can't, as I say, at least try to get the 36 hours in your fast to get a little taste of everything. But once you get the 36 hours, you're going to feel pretty confident, and you're going to start even to go further to a 48, and then from the 48 to the 54 to 72. So that's it, guys. Earth Wellness.